legislative branch. A legislature is an assembly with the authority to make laws for a political entry. Legislative power is divided between federal and state legislature. The legislative has three roles, which are legislative, financial, and economic. Its most common role is to demand the principles of proposed legislation and to ensure that each bills serve the people. In modern times, the most important function of legislature is lawmaking. The main purpose of the legislative branch is to enact new laws. These new laws will include the appropriation bills, which fund the particular government for its budgetary year. In Malaysia, Parliament is the legislative authority for the federation and it enacts law to be enforced nationwide. The distribution of lawmaking authority between the federal and state governments is enumerated in the 9th schedule of federal constitution and is set out in federal list, state list, and a concurrent list.
Sheikh Muhammad Nuruddin's view of legislative is the legislative authority is the power to enact laws applicable to the federations as a whole under Article 661 of Federal Constitutions. The legislative power is vested in a bicameral parliament headed by the Yang di-Pertuan Agong and comprises the Dewan Negara, which is House of Senate, and Dewan Rakyat, which is House of Representatives.
Legal provision of legislation. A legal provision of legislation is a provision of an act or an instrument is any words or anything else that forms part of the act or instrument.
And for legislative cases law in Malaysia, for the first one Malaysia Development Berhad Scandal for branches under Exchange Control Act 1959 ECA. For example, Ahmad Zulfendi Anwar v. Muhammad Syarif Abdul Rahman 2022 6 MLRA 13. And for the second one is Whitney Alfred Raj v. Thor Amrata Raja v. PT 2022 6 MLRA 1.
The executive branch. Executive branch is the oldest government in Malaysia, a place where government takes place to bring up political issues, or a place in the framework of federal representative democratic consultation, a monarchy, and also a place that were exercised by the federal government of the 30 states. Executive branch in Malaysia usually is to formulate and implement the policy in the country. The executive branch is chosen by the public through election, and government will bring great impact on the political system in Malaysia. Executive power is vested the cabinet led by the Prime Minister, and the Malaysia Constitution stipulates that the Prime Minister must be member of the lower house of Parliament. The cabinet is chosen from among of both house of Parliament. The executive branch in Malaysia made law the Parliament by Parliament. Each part of the executive has its own role to handle. It also had responsibilities for the government administrative system. It has the authority to adjust and dissolve the legislature. In the federal government, the executive consists of Conference of Rules, Yang di-Pertuan Agong, YDPA, Prime Minister, Cabinet, and Public Service. The function of executive branch is to enforce law and to maintain law and order in the state. It is the responsibility of the executive to block the press and bring the officer to book. It is also responsible for the implementation of the law and police consuming its works. The executive also organize and manage the police force.
Separation of power. In Malaysia, their system is almost the same with United Kingdom. This is because there is no separation between executive and legislative because of Malaysia cabinet type of organization. In Malaysia, Prime Minister is come from Dewan Rakyat. In cabinet will appoint Yang di-Pertuan Agong giving advice to Prime Minister. The executive branch also has the group to administrate the law and appoint official and oversee the administration of government responsibilities.
The executive cases law in Malaysia are Stephen Kalambingkan Bitun Abang Haji Openg and Tawis Leo No. 2, 1967, 1 MLJ 46, High Court, Malaysia. Second, Dato' Amir Kartun Mustafa B. Tun Muhammad Said Kerwa, 1994, 3 MLJ 737, High Court, Malaysia. Third, Narbal Singh B. Sultan of Selangor, 1988, 1 MLJ 64, High Court, Malaysia. Scholar view. According to Nur Azlina binti Abdul Aziz, University Technology Mara UiTM Selangor, the rule of law sets as an important principle entrenched in the Constitution of Malaysia. This principle stands as a guardian against power by the government, as nobody shall be above the law. The analysis allows for identifications of issues and proposals on the of executive branch in Malaysia that would increase the quality of state administration as well as promoting the rule of law.